With the invention of platforms such as eBay and Amazon, selling things on the internet really could not be easier. Today, we look at 5 of the weirdest and most pointless items ever sold on the internet. Number 5. Letters from a deadbeat dad. If you enjoy snooping in on the most private and slightly heartbreaking of correspondence, then here's your next eBay purchase. Have you ever been curious as to the inner workings of a deadbeat, jail-bound dad with alcohol problems, including his professions of love and his unlikely intentions of turning it all around? Then this collection will surely keep you enthralled and entertained. This Dad of the Year writes letters to his kids while in jail, rehab, and occasionally on a drunken binge. They are quite something to behold. Here is a teaser. Okay, and what if I do still love you? I know you still love me, maybe not as much, but I'm not stupid neither. Are you? It drives me nuts, just like it drives you nuts. I just won't lie to you about it. These letters are strangely addictive. Hopefully the money raised by the sale of his ramblings will help the kids out more than their drunken father ever could. And if that's not enough, handmade and presumably drunken birthday cards made in the jail in which he was housed are included in the price tag, so you don't miss out on any special occasions. The letters are available to buy on eBay for anyone strange enough to want them in their collection. Number 4. Harold. A freaky self-portrait with a macabre history. Believed to be haunted by his ghost, this is a self-portrait of a man called Harold who died in tragic circumstances. It was back in 2001 when the artist and subject of the picture received the devastating diagnosis of terminal brain cancer. This was tragic for all concerned, especially his wife, who was also suffering from a terminal illness. His wife suffered from multiple sclerosis, and Harold knew that he would eventually no longer be able to take care of her. What he did next was shocking. His solution was to shoot her in the head with a shotgun as she slept. Later that night, he took his own life with the same gun. After the home was sold, its new owners found a special memento left behind, Harold's self-portrait. For reasons we don't quite understand, they let it continue to hang in a property, but not for long. Soon after they moved in, strange occurrences started to happen in their new home. The family noticed that their pet dog would sit in front of the painting, howling and seem distressed. It was a bit too much. They weren't sure what to do, but this much was clear. Harold's strange painting had to go, and what a better place to sell a picture with a creepy past than to flog it on eBay. Strangely enough, there's always a market for the weird and absurd on the internet. Number 3. Digital pop art of US President Barack Obama. There's a lot of art for sale on the internet, but images of political icons take it to the next level. It may sound like a simple and stupid idea, but selling a low-grade photoshopped image of Barack Obama with some dodgy clip art is one of the internet's unlikely selling success stories. That's right, there's a guy selling a crappy image that he spent 5 minutes making of the US president for a whopping $1,500. Genius or madness, we're not sure. Let's take a further look. It's art, but maybe not as we know it. Sure, there's probably a whole lot of symbolism in there, but it's not exactly Da Vinci, is it? Obama looks like Dr. Manhattan, or certainly a victim of some insane radiation poisoning. He's turned blue and fallen down amongst a collection of weird items, possibly saved from his lunch. It looks like a 10-year-old's art project. Number 2. Ghost in a jar. A man was out using his metal detector and happened to stumble upon an interesting looking old wooden case. Naturally, he decided to take a closer look. When he opened it, he found nestled inside a tattered old journal and 2 very ordinary looking glass jars. Not much of a loot, but he was intrigued and pulled it out for closer inspection. Unfortunately, he dropped one of the jars and it completely shattered. To his distress, a strange black mist smoked and curled out of the broken jar. He took the remaining jar and the old journal home, where he began to be haunted by something he could only describe as the Black Thing. Wanting to get rid of it, he put the remaining jar up for sale on eBay, hoping to get it out of his life. After explaining the circumstances, he said that only people who read this story and were serious about buying the jar should bid on the item. As odd as it may seem, there were actually quite a few buyers. More than 60 potential owners made bids on the jar, but sadly, it seems many of them weren't serious, as the bid amount rose to an incredible 90 million. We don't know who the lucky bidder was or if they were visited by the same strange mist, but what we do know is that since the original Ghost in a Jar was posted on eBay, there have been many more similar bargains up for sale. Number 1. Invisibility. I'm sure most of us as kids would have fantasized about owning a pair of real X-ray specs or having some kind of invisibility powers. And now, finally, from the magical world of the internet, we can make all of our childhood dreams come true. Well, forget about Harry Potter and his invisibility cloak, as there is a guy on the internet called Bill Williams who believes he has the answer. Now, if we were to take Mr. Williams' extraordinary claims at face value, harnessing the powers of invisibility is apparently one of the best kept secrets of the ages. It is, however, one he seems to know and is keen to sell. It's our lucky day. Hang on, why would we want something not even used by those of Master Stealth? But there's more. Bill Williams states that his invisibility powers are only to be used for moral purposes. Now we're confused. That seems to limit its uses somewhat. He also said that the secret to invisibility will be digitally delivered to you in a top secret email. Surely after being kept hidden for hundreds of years, if this secret to invisibility is digital, then maybe we can find it with a bit of Googling. We could probably save some time and money. Then we can sell it ourselves and become billionaires, or just use it to sneak in places we probably shouldn't be in. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our videos. Goodbye.